resilience and unwavering determination. Give it up in this studio for David Miles. What is up, sir?
Welcome, David.
What is going on?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Man, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm blessed, man. I feel really, really wonderful. Humble. I'm humble to be here. Humble.
Humble the
I did it on purpose.
We'll take it.
Yeah. We'll allow it. Judges? Okay, we'll allow it. No, it's crazy because I feel like we met maybe about a month or so ago at a mutual friend. I was launching her business, and we were there, and we just started talking about everything. We started talking about sports, well, mostly sports, because you played football back in the day.
Yeah, play football, play
Yeah.
a little basketball.
Yeah.
Track.
Yeah, so that was the connection right there, and we talked for a minute, and I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey man, I got a show. Would you like to be on?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, but it felt like we've known each other for like 30 years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, it's funny when you meet people and they have the right spirit and you connect with them, you do feel like you've known them for many years.
Yeah.
And because we share like qualities and like ventures.
Yeah.
And we started talking, I was like, I feel like I'm talking to my brother.
Yeah, exactly. So man, like I said, I'm just excited that you're on the show. I really do appreciate it because I feel like that this is something that needs to be shared with the community, especially with the Black community, because a lot of us, I feel like, has the desire to want to do and want to be successful and want to be a part of, in multiple streams of income. And we'll talk about that a lot more going into the show, because I do have a couple of questions. But growing up, where you grew up, were you born and raised here in Houston?
So I was born and raised here in Houston.
Okay.
South Park, Sunnyside area.
All right, Sunnyside.
Sunnyside, South Park, we're right there.
Sunnyside. I have family members off of Cullen and White Rock.
Okay, we were off of, what's that, Reed Road and Well, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So, we spent a lot of time in the community.
Yeah.
And, you know how it is over there. You know, you're not really seeing a lot of success. You're seeing people want to get out, but really don't know how to get out.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have the person in my life that can teach me how to get out, so I had to kind of find my way on my own. And when I say I came from humble beginnings, my grandmother, I watched her work for 30, 40 years and still remain poor. I watched my grandfather, work himself basically to the grave because, he died prematurely because he always worked.
Wow.
And so I knew growing up that I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to go down that same path. I just needed the right direction.
Yes, sir.
So when I was growing up, I was always different. I always stayed to myself because I wanted to find out, how could I get out? How could I get out? Because I knew if I remained there and my mindset did not shift, I knew exactly what was waiting for me.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the evidence. I've seen friends. I've seen uncles. I've seen cousins. I see the route they went down. And at that particular time, there was no one else that I saw in my immediate circle that had the success that I wanted to have.
So, and I'm not saying these are excuses, but in our community, we always hear about the government or the system is always keeping us down, won't allow us to be this and won't allow us to be that. How true is that statement? Because obviously you found a way, but how true is that statement, and how much of that is more mental than it is factual?
So it's all mental. And the reason why I say that, I'll explain myself. Well, we can say, okay, it's the government. But let me ask you a question. No matter who's been in office, I can go back to Bush. I can go back to Clinton. I can go back to Obama. I can go back to Trump. Let me ask you a question. The neighborhood's been a neighborhood. The same people in the neighborhood doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
There's been no improvement in the neighborhood. There's been no improvement in the mindset. There's been no shift. So it's not about the leadership, it's about your mindset. Because you think about it, when one person gets out and does well, that's clear, concrete evidence that another person can get it done. I think a lot of time we use our environment and situation as a crutch because it's easy. See, it's easier to think that I can't get it done versus I can get it done. That requires effort. And I know that if I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think most people would rather stay in the comfort zone of saying, hey, listen, because of my circumstances, because of my background, because of my culture, I'm gonna put it that way, right? Because of who I am, I can't escape this wall, okay? But what if I told you there was no wall? Because here's the deal. I can go back decades and decades and decades. Even when we thought that no one else was having success, there was still someone that looked like you and I that was having success.
Yeah.
So that means that it can be done. Yes, it's going to require more effort, but are you willing to put forth the effort, or do you want to stay in your comfort zone and be like everybody else?
So there's the mindset with that, because people, us, we see other black folks succeed. We see them do well. And maybe this is still the mentality that we're in, but when we see them, we're like, oh, he did this. And oh, he did that. He probably, they start calling him Uncle Tom and all that type of stuff. What is your reaction to that when you hear that? Like, they saw you, they know who you are. They saw you grow up to them, and then you become successful, and they still where they are. But then turn around and say, they act like that they don't even know you now. That's like all that type of stuff. Like, what is your response to that?
So my response to that is this. I'm put it this way. I literally have people that I grew up with, family members I grew up with, that saw the evidence, saw me do it. I explained to them how to do it, and they still don't believe they can do it. And why is that? That's because, it takes a lot of practice to develop a certain type of mentality, a certain type of belief, put it that way. Because you have to listen to this stuff over and over and over again. Because there's so many influences out there that teaches you that you can't get out, that teaches you that you have to go a certain path. Because we're programmed from school, we're programmed from childhood. Okay, they teach us that we have to do a certain thing in order to be successful. If we don't do this thing, we will not be successful. Well, what if I told you that I don't have a college degree? Okay, what if I told you I didn't do any kind of specialized training? I learned principles. Okay, people don't get rich off of education; they get rich off of principle. Okay, and I was taught that by one of my good friends and my mentors. That he said, "You know what, David? Let me tell you something. If you look at all the celebrities, I want you to pick your top celebrity, the person that you really, really like. Okay, and go see and look at their background." And I started looking at it. Every last one of them came from a similar background as me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if he can do it, if Steve Harvey can do it, if Bill Cosby can do it, then why can't I do it? Because they came from a worse background than me. See, I don't have the same testimony of driving one way in a car and living in that car until I became successful. But someone else did it. So what's my excuse?
I have a question.
Absolutely.
In the process of, because I heard you say that you essentially created a habit that trained your mind to veer it towards success. How many times in the process of you retraining your thought pattern or your thought process were you frustrated with, not seeing the results that you wanted to see initially? That's
a great question. Well, you can always have emotions, okay? So I'm not going to say that you're not going to have emotion because you're human. But at the same time, when you have a goal, and see, that's the difference between people that are successful and people that are not. They have goals. Okay, if you don't have a goal in front of you, you don't have a why that's really, really big, then you're going to get frustrated. But if I have a why and it's bigger than myself, if my why is about my family, if my why is about my mom, hey, I want my mom to have a better life, or my kids to have a better life, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to persevere. Okay, because the word says we're going to have trials and tribulations, but be of good cheer. So me sitting around moping and complaining is not going to draw what I need to me. Okay, I have to look past that. You have to look at the goal. Okay, not the journey. Okay, focus on the end. So you got to begin with the end in mind. And I was taught that a long time ago. Even when I didn't see success, okay, I still knew the end was in mind. And that's what helped me persevere. Because if I would have focused on what I was going through right then, okay, I'm talking about the struggles, the times when I didn't have, the time where I was literally almost homeless, okay? Those times, if I focused on those times right there, guess what? I probably would have went back because it was more comfortable. Think about it. when they came out, when the children of Israel came out, right? They wanted to go back.
Yeah.
Why do they want to go back? Because there was a comfort zone. They knew that their basic needs would get met if they go back. But if you go forward, you're promised a land of milk and honey. Which one you want to do? You want to go back to your comfort zone, or do you want to go to the land of milk and honey?
Yeah.
I chose the land of milk and honey.
I love that. So I see like two pictures, similar pictures, same situation. Okay, no, both situations, not a lot of money, broke, you know, on the verge of getting kicked out. Similar situations. The left picture I see this person who is struggling, but managed to find a pair of Jordans, managed to find a PS5, house all decked out and stuff like that, but you barely make it in. On the right, I see a person where they may have a cardboard for a table, barely have stuff in there, but they have a vision. When you look, the reality in society sees the person on the left as living. They don't see that with the person on the right. But that person on the right is living for so much more than what that person is living on the left. Is that a fair assessment to say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without the vision, the people do what?
Yes.
I don't care what you have right now. I was taught a long time ago, if you don't continue to have goals and have vision, have faith, okay, and belief, it will fade away. I'm a living witness. You get comfortable, okay, because here's the deal. Even though someone may have more money than you, okay, doesn't mean they're more successful than you. Success is not determined by money. Success is determined by you putting out there exactly what you want and accomplishing what you want. Because your level of success may not be the same as someone else. See, someone that's homeless right now, their level of success is getting into a home right now. When they get into that home, they feel like they're successful. And they are. Because they had a goal and they reached their goal.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people right now that may have a job, okay? They may have a career, but they're struggling to make ends meet. Well, that person's not successful. Because if you were successful, you wouldn't have a struggle. You wouldn't have the frustration that comes with not being successful. Because successful people are not frustrated about money. Now, other things may get in the way, but as far as money, they're not frustrated about money because it comes to them easily. Why? Because they have goals, they have dreams, and they're pressing towards that goal and their dream. And I truly believe this. Okay, a lot of people, feel like there's like a wall in this competition. There's no such thing. You are to create. We are created by a creator to create. We are supposed to create the life that we want. That's how God experiences things on earth. He experiences through us. See, we understand that. It's a little bit deeper. That's why we were created to what? To manifest and to actually what? Give glory to Him. But while we're here on the earth and we have great things, He experiences those things through us because He lives in us, doesn't He?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So when we go through life and we have a desire, a good desire, not a bad, a good desire for something, that is literally God putting that in us and letting us know we have every right while we're on this earth to possess the things that we want.
Possess the land.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. I love this conversation, and we want to definitely dive into it some more and talk about other things and I have different little questions here, but we're gonna get a song here real quick. I'm gonna take it back to Ricky Dillard and New G. Man, 828 right here on the DSL Morning Show. So I try to write down a couple of questions, the questions I would think people would ask, and of course you guys are always welcome to ask your questions as well. And if you want to give calls, shout out if you want some questions that you want answered, 346-355-0100, 346-355-0100. Hanging out with our brother David Miles on today. When you hear the word passive income, what is that for you? Because I hear a lot of people say, how do I get passive income? How do I get passive income? What is passive income?
So there is a definition, but I'm gonna give you mine.
Yeah.
There's a definition. I'm gonna give you mine. Passive income that's the income when you're doing exactly what you want to do. And here's the deal: your job, okay, your career, no matter what it is right now, that's designed to do what? To pay your bills.
Right.
Your passive income is designed to give you the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. So I want you to think about passive income as something where you use your creativity, okay, to bring something into the world. Whether that be, you know, if you're good at, you know, influencing people or motivation, okay, if you're good at, you know, helping people, whatever the case may be, whatever your skill set, your talent that you're blessed with, your passive income will follow that talent. See, a lot of people, you know, they look for all the normal things, you know, doctors, lawyers. Those are great.
Yeah.
Those are great. But no, everybody doesn't have, first of all, the skill set to get those degrees. They don't have the patience to get those degrees, okay? And also, sometimes they don't have the passion to be a doctor or a lawyer, okay? So a lot of them do it just because the income is great. But what if I told you that you can do exactly what you want to do? The income could be phenomenal, but also, too, you enjoy doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's what passive income is, okay? Passive income is enjoying what you want to do. And a lot of times, you know, I've been around successful people since I was around 19 years old. I remember when I first met my first mentor. I was 19 going on 20 years old, okay? And at that time, I was making about $38,000 to $40,000 a year. And you gotta remember, this is like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, so, you know, you're okay. You're 19, 20 years old, you're making 38, 40,000.
Yeah,
You're doing pretty good, yeah. Had a little BMW 3 Series, okay, I thought I was doing it, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I came to a seminar, and I remember I'm sitting in the back, okay? I got invited out. I really didn't want to be there. I'm not just being transparent. I sat in the back, and I was, you know, kind of on my phone or whatever. No, pager at that time. I'm so sorry. We had two-way pagers,
Yes,
okay?
sir.
We were just now having cell
Yes,
phones,
sir.
okay? And I'm in the back, and all of a sudden, I heard a gentleman get in the front. And at the time, that gentleman was making more in a month than I was all year long. So that was like it was like a red flashing light was inside of my head saying, what you're doing right now is not working the way it should. Find out what he does and find out how he got there. So I asked questions. Okay, how did you get to this point? Okay. And he told me, well, here's the deal. It's not going to be easy, but if you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, that was my first time hearing that statement.
Yeah.
If you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, you can be very successful at an early age. He taught me principles at that time. He taught me different things to apply to my life, daily habits, okay? Here's the deal. We're in this world, we're always surrounded by so much negativity that we have to surround ourselves with positivity, okay? Just like right now, you start your morning with the word. You start your morning listening to praise and worship, okay? Then you go into your personal self-development. Develop your mind so that your mind has the tools it needs to carry out its daily habits. It's a daily struggle to get rich. Okay? It's not going to be an easy thing, but it can be, okay, very simple. What I mean by that? It's simple because if I apply the knowledge I've learned, I know that I can be successful. Why? Because the evidence is there. Remember, faith is what? The substance of things hoped for, and what? The evidence of things not seen. So here's the deal. My faith is already in the right place, knowing that if I apply certain things, I'm going to get a certain result. And since God is a God that He won't lie, if I apply this principle and believe with all my heart it's going to happen, it will happen. Because what if I told you as soon as you made the decision, it happened right there in the spiritual. Now you're waiting for it to manifest itself in the natural. And that's going to happen naturally with the progression of time. See, people don't get that. They get frustrated right on the edge of the breakthrough. Where God said, you know, I'm just testing your faith right now. I'm going to see how long you'll stay in this trench. Because I'm about to bring you out. And when I bring you out, I'm going to really bring you out. I'm going to raise you up. But how long will you stay in this trench before I raise you up?
That's good.
And it's a different time frame for different people.
Yeah.
You know, everybody won't have my story where they were already making multiple six figures before the age of 30. I was already doing that, but everybody doesn't have my story. You know, you may be 50 right now, but it's still not too late. You may be 60 right. You may be 70 years old. Okay? The founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He didn't get rich until he was in his late years in life.
I think that's the thing too, Dave, that a lot of people they feel like they've missed their moment. They feel like the moment for me to get everything or to optimize all of that, you know, that it's past. So can you speak to that? Just, you know, go a little bit further in there with that in regards to, you know, people feeling like they may have missed their moment.
People giving themselves deadlines
Yeah.
if they don't meet that
I'm,
deadline.
by the age of 20, I want to have this. At the age
Yeah.
of 30, I want to see this.
And it doesn't happen then, but yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll use this example. Moses, okay, he was promised to have a child, okay, and he was up in age, where in the physical, natural, we couldn't fathom him having a child at that age, right? His wife was old, he was old.
Right.
But God promised him what? A child. So here's the deal. When you have a dream and goal, you write it down and you know that it's going to happen. God already promised you that, right? Now you have to do the work. Now, we don't know how many trials and tribulations you have to go through to get what you're going to get. But here's the deal. I don't believe that anybody on this earth that it's too late for them to be successful. Why? Because there's evidence. Go back and read your word. There's evidence of people waiting into their elderly years and having a level of success that most people dream of.
Yeah.
You know, you think about it right now. Okay, we look at the people right now that's in our community. Yes, a lot of people are getting wealthy young now because we live in the social media world right now where it's easy for you to be an influencer and all of a sudden you get all these sponsorships and stuff like that. But here's the deal. Back in the days, a lot of people had to put in the work. And here's the deal. A lot of people are afraid of work. I have to say this because a lot of times, I remember back in the days, a lot of people would say, well, if you work hard, you're going to be successful. And I had to debunk that myth because I said, my grandfather worked hard for 30, 40 years. He never was successful. And he worked hard. And he was diligent in what he did. Okay, my grandmother was a housemaid for 35 years. She never, ever achieved any level of success. So success has nothing to do with working hard. What it has to do with is your level of belief. And what I would say to somebody that's getting up in age, okay, I would say you need to probably check your belief level. Check your faith. Because God is not going to give you something if your faith is wavering. Okay, if your faith is wavering, then God is not going to bless you with something. Because it's not the way He operates. He operates in a level of faith. Okay, and He said that everybody has their own measure of faith. So some people are going to believe for bigger things than other people. Some people are going to believe for, small things. And that's okay. Because remember, when in the example that Jesus talked about with the talents.
Yes.
Okay, you ask, well, some that did something, some that didn't. So God gives everybody a talent. I truly believe everybody has a talent. And the talent you've been blessed with, okay, the talent you've been blessed with is what's going to actually, propel you to your level of success. But if you don't tap into your talent and you get influenced into a direction that you shouldn't be in anyways, then that's where mediocrity comes in.
Wow, that's good.
I hope y'all were taking notes.
Please take notes.
Solid information.
I'm telling you. And that's why one of the reasons why I wanted him to come on the show, because I think we see success as one way, and I think a lot of it is about what we see on TV and what we see in social media. We see it that way, but we don't understand what it takes to become successful and to maintain that success.
Absolutely.
Because you give somebody $1 million right now, if they don't have the mindset to know what to do with that $1 million, they'll be broke within a day.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're going to spend it on everything. I'm about my mama's house. Dude, it's $1 million. Slow down.
Off the break.
Buying your mama a house when she's 75.
Right.
No, build your own house
Right.
and have her move in with you, sweetheart. Have her own little side of the
Yeah,
house.
little wing.
That would be more logical.
Yeah, exactly.
But and that's the question I guess one that we could ask after the song. But like, what to do with the money that you have, because you're quick to spend it, but a lot of people may not know about investments. A lot of people may not know about trading. A lot of people may not know about all these other type of avenues, because as we only think of one source of income, where even in the Bible in Deuteronomy, 14th chapter, I believe it is. No, 28th chapter, somewhere right around there, 1 through 14, talks about prosperity and wealth, multiple streams of income, and all those things. So we want to talk a little bit more about that after the break. But we got our old school song of the day, y'all, and we you know, I like the Clark Sisters, so we're gonna bring it back to the Clark Sisters with "You Brought the Sunshine."
Wow.
Right here on the DSM Morning Show. 8:37 a.m. right here on the DSM Morning Show. Here with, man, I feel like the time is gone because I feel like we have so many more questions and things like
We
that.
got 23 minutes.
Oh, well, thank you.
We got time.
While she says that with her hands on her hips, y'all,
Right.
like she just the studio mama all of a sudden.
I dare you to come back or though. You won't.
I won't, because that pinch is something serious.
I'm telling you, bro.
That pinch is something serious.
I don't got these mails for nothing.
Jesus.
She's like, yes, ma'am.
Right. So yeah, we were talking about passive income and things like that, but like after the break, you know, talking about these multiple streams of income and things like that, that people feel like that cannot be obtained. But it all starts with, like you said before, the mindset. But we were meant to be successful. Why is that hard to translate over into the Christian community? Why do they feel like if they see somebody with 2 cars, that's not the way to live? You know,
Or that you're doing something you ain't supposed to
you're
be
doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, but
perception.
the Bible talks about prosperity a lot in the Bible. It's there. And like I said before, like multiple streams of income and things like that. Why is that so hard to translate over into the Christian community?
So here's the deal. I truly believe that the Christian community, we need an awakening. And the reason why I say that is I think a lot of what we came through as a culture, as a people, okay, the church was formulated on our struggles. So it was always, we're trying to get over, we're trying to come out.
Yeah.
We're still coming out.
Yeah.
You gonna have trials. You gonna do, you know, and so all of that's been embedded in our spirit for years and years and years. Because you got to think about it. The people that we watched growing up, they did go through struggles.
Yeah.
They went through things that you and I didn't go through. Okay, there was a different generation. My grandmother, my great grandmother, they saw the segregation, all that kind of stuff like
Yes.
that, and the church helped them to overcome that.
Yeah.
But I believe that now the church needs to go to the next level. The next level is we've overcome. We're free. Let's stop talking about struggle. Start talking about where
Yes,
we're
David.
going.
I love it.
You know,
Yeah.
see, right now, I think a lot of our pastors and preachers, we're still stuck in the rut of feeling like people, you know, you got to dig people out the mud. No, people are ready to go to the next level.
Yeah.
I think that the members and the community are ready to go to the next level. It's time for our pastors and leaders to take us to the next level. And I don't think it's, you know, totally their fault, because I think that a lot of them just don't know how to get to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, if you go down right now, if I go down through the neighborhood I grew up in, and within like a 1 mile radius, you're going to see about 5, 6, 7 churches. All of them may have 3, 4, 5 cars in front. Why is that? That's the mentality. It's like, it's my way. So, you know, I'm going to teach what I want to teach here, not specifically the word. People want to hear the word, because the word will teach you how to gain success.
Right.
Okay, like you said, there's prosperity all throughout the word. There's scripture references all throughout the word that can help you to get whatever you need in this life.
Yeah.
But I believe that, you know, the Christian community has relied on so much of where we came from, we can't really see where we're going. And I truly believe that right now, in this day and age, this is a perfect opportunity for us as a Christian community, as a black population, okay, to come out of that mindset and shift into a wealth mindset. Why? Because our God is wealth. He said he'll give us a cattle on 1,000 hills. Why am I referencing the Bible so much? Because it's in there.
Right.
It's in there.
Right.
And people need to understand it's not a sin to get rich. There's a sin when you do the wrong thing with money.
Right.
But understand this: you were created to be rich. You may have been born poor, but you should die rich because your God is rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I have to say about that. I think that right now the church needs a shift. I really do. I think that pastors and leaders need to learn how to obtain wealth so they can teach their members how to obtain wealth.
I'm so glad you said that. That's I feel like that's been my mentality. So I'm a young pastor.
Okay, awesome.
You know, and I feel like that's been my mentality for a long time. And with me being, I feel like young in the world, the realm of pastoring, even though I come from it. I can't say this in every circle because, you know, I feel like, you know, they'll just look at me like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I really do believe in, like you were saying, the whole dispensation of as time has progressed. Yes, we do come from a place of struggle. We come from a place of hard place because our people were oppressed.
Absolutely.
And they dealt with that. But now, since we are in this particular dispensation of life and living, I think it's essential that, let's acknowledge it, but let's also give the tools that are necessary so that you can thrive in today's society. Yeah.
Be willing to take new opportunities, because a lot of times, and I'm just going to speak from personal experience of things I've seen, when you present something about, oh, I want to go do this, and oh, you can't do that, or that costs too much money, why would you do that, and all that, and not thinking about what am I gaining out of this, who, and how many people could just put me in front of. You're just thinking about what you see right now, like their view is so limited. That's annoying.
I think that there's a huge carryover from the last generation into this generation. That mental oppression still exists and still being shared.
Wow.
Instead of what needs to be shared is opportunities and things like that. Talking about too expensive, like you don't know how to think beyond that, because we are really living in an era of opportunity. If you really look at it, I know the news wanted to make it look like that, you know, we're going back into the Great Depression and all that type of stuff, and in some cases, yeah, for you, but the opportunity is there. You just have to be willing to go out and get it. And I think some of the fears are, one of the fear is money.
Absolutely.
Where am I going to be able to get the money to be able to fund my vision? God said, do it. I've already made the provisions for you. But it's like, I want to see it first before. That's not how it works. So fear, I think, is one of those things that keeps a lot of people from being successful. I think another thing, well, then it may also be tied in with fear, with the fear of this, fear of money, fear of that, but also fear of isolation. Because I feel like sometimes in order to obtain that success and the things that you need, you got to isolate yourself from those people that don't have the same vision as you have, because we all have our own different paths. But when it's time for you to move, you have to kind of isolate yourself from things like that. So was that something for you when you started to get into this, you know, God, I don't know how I have money, and also like having to understand that, man, I grew up with these people all my life, my family, my friends, and now I have to be alone from them to be able to do that. Has that happened for you as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe that there has to be a season of separation. Anytime you're going to accomplish something big, you have to have that season of separation. Why? Because you're being worked on, and when you're being worked on, you can't have influences. Because here's the deal: if my Uncle John has never been where I want to go, why am I asking him for advice?
Right.
Wow.
My Uncle John can only teach me what he knows, okay?
Right.
He can teach me how to get here.
Right.
I'm wanting to go there. So I need to surround myself with the people that are already there.
Like, how you gonna tell me how to get a Maybach and you still got your
And you
Crown
still,
Victoria?
yeah, right. You still got a beautiful Regal sitting in the front, you know?
That was a good vehicle.
It was for that time period.
Jeremy.
And I believe you have to have that.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, it gets lonely, but at the same time, it doesn't, because you surround yourself with other people. And then you got to be the smallest fish. If you're the biggest fish in your circle, then you need to find a new circle. Because it's levels to this thing.
Yeah.
You should always be aspiring to go to your next level.
Yeah.
If you got to look at your closest 5 friends. That's going to determine your income. So if your closest 5 friends are not where you want them to be, you need a new circle of friends. Now, does that mean that you totally cut them off? No, you go and gain the knowledge and you bring it back to that circle of friends,
Yes, sir.
and you become their influence. Okay, you become the connector between the two. So I truly believe that yes, you do have to separate yourself from family or friends sometimes, because even though they have great intentions, sometimes they can give you bad counsel. And it's not because they don't. It's not because they want to harm you or anything like that. They're doing what they've been taught their whole life, the safe
Or doing
route.
what they know. Saying
Doing what they know,
Yeah.
saying what they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're going to achieve anything great in this life, you have to get past that threshold of being in your comfort zone or what's comfortable or what I've already seen, because 95% of the population does the exact same thing. That's why only 5% of the population is what we call successful, meaning they make a certain amount of income and up.
Yeah.
Okay, when I shifted over to that mindset, I didn't realize that when I got to the six figures and multiple six figures, I was in the top 3% earners. Because if you think about it, only 3% of the population earns that much money.
Wow.
Yeah.
3%. The other 97% earn less than that.
Wow.
That's great. That's great. So another thing I feel like in that you should do is, when you're talking about going into that realm of success, things you gotta have a budget. So talk about that a little bit. It's like the budget that you have to, just have to stop. What are the things that you have to stop buying? And things like that, to obtain this particular budget.
So when you on the path of success and you know where you're going to have to make sacrifices. There's no way of putting it. You have to make sacrifices. Okay, is it that important for me to get something new every time I get a paycheck? Or should I be invested in myself? See, a lot of time we invest in other people. What I mean by that, when you go to that store, you're investing in somebody's vision.
Right.
Because that's somebody's vision of that store being there and selling whatever you're buying. Okay, so you're helping fund their dreams and goals. Why not do the same for your own? See, a lot of times, here's the deal. You may have one suit. I remember when I first started. When I first started in business, I had two suits. One was black and one was gray. I had all kinds of ties. I had different shoes and stuff, but I had two suits because I knew that I had to invest in myself first. The first opportunity when I was told I was at that seminar, it cost $499 to start.
Wow.
I didn't have it in my account. I had about 200. Guess what happened? I went home. I put on my I think it was a radio at that time and the two-way. I pawned those. Okay, within 45 days, guess what? Not only did I have my stuff back, I was already thriving. But I took a sacrifice. I took a leap of faith on myself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are afraid to bet on themselves. They'd rather bet on somebody else's dream, which is a job, a career. That's somebody else's dream. That's somebody else's goal than their own self.
Wasn't there, Pastor, or wasn't there a story, and you may know it too, where there was a rich man who came to Jesus like, hey, how can I tell him? He was telling him he had to give up all this type of stuff, and he just was sad and just walked away because. And I just thought about that as like sacrifice. It's like, what are you willing to give up? And I think I posted that a while back. It's like, what are you willing to give up to get your purpose or go towards your goals? What are you willing to give up? And for me, right now I'm in a process of studying to get certified to be a personal trainer.
Okay.
And I know what it takes to attain that goal. It's going to require a lot of isolation and sacrifice of time. So those things and engagements and stuff that I would probably normally go to, I have to cut back on in doing those so that way I can give myself time because my future is at stake.
Absolutely. And can I say this? We talk about giving up stuff. I remember when I was asked this question and I had an ultimatum. I was in corporate making a great salary, okay? I was making a lot of money, okay? I think months I was pulling in 30 grand a month, okay? And I was asked this question, are you willing to give that up to obtain more? Are you willing to leave your $500,000 home? Give up your 2 cars, your dream cars, stuff that you wrote down. You obtained the dream cars, had the dream home, okay? In my dream neighborhood, are you willing to give that up? Now, it wasn't man asking me that, God asked me that. Are you willing to give that up so that I can take you higher and give you your time freedom back. I literally pressed the reset button on my way to my next path. Because I knew that if I stayed there, I couldn't accomplish all the dreams and goals that I wanted to accomplish in the
It was
world.
taking up your time.
It was taking up too much time.
Yeah. Wow. So now I'm not gonna go to Starbucks and get a venti big old coffee for $13. I'm just gonna get a venti water because that's I still went to Starbucks.
Still with the water. You got the experience of going to Starbucks.
Get the water and just,
Drive off.
just sprinkle some caffeine on it.
Listen.
Right.
And pray over it. It's sacrifice.
Maybe that's right. Hey, he did turn water to wine. Maybe
Listen,
Right.
just saying, Lord, give me the energy I need through this water.
There you go.
I receive.
I thought you was gonna say God transform the water into a pumpkin spice.
But no, I love the principle, and I have to say that because, all jokes aside, I think that's so good because the Lord has been tugging on me in certain areas about things that I've overcommitted to. Because it doesn't lend time to the things that He wants me to be able to thrive in. And man, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, okay, Jeremy, I'm eating it up. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
gotta make
Yeah,
those
yeah.
personal sacrifices. So I receive. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, and I found out more and more. No is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
There's power in no. There really is. Man, I wish we had another hour. It is 8:53. I appreciate the hour that you've given us, but I did want to be able to give this space to be able to give you an opportunity to know how people can follow you, or any types of word of encouragement to give to the people that you've already have, but anything else you may want to give in this last 5 minutes or so. And if you could, before you go, if you could pray.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I won't spend a lot of time myself. You can look me up on all social media at David Miles Jr. or D Millionaire Miles. D, the letter D, Millionaire Miles, is pretty much the same on any social platform, including YouTube and all that good stuff. So you can find me there. What I'll say is this. What can I leave you all with? I remember going through the process. And, I remember it was explained to me that there can be no progress without the process. And a lot of people that's listening today may be in the process. They don't see the progress yet. They're in the process. They may be going on the brink of giving up. And when you're on the brink of giving up, know this. That is on the verge of your breakthrough. Because that's what God does. He always does things like that to test our faith. So when we're at the edge and you're about to give up, that's when you should get the most excited. If something is going too well, okay, and things are going too well, but you're not where you should be, you're in your comfort zone.
Wow.
You're in your comfort zone. That's why you feel comfortable. That's why you feel good. That's why you feel good giving up 40 to 60 hours per week to only have 2 days off to recharge from the 40 to 60 hours you just spent. That's why you feel good, because you're in your comfort zone. But when you're not in your comfort zone, as soon as that clock is over at your job, you punch out, you punch into your dreams and goals. And you go harder for yourself than you ever do in corporate or whatever you do. Okay, knowing that you have a bigger purpose on this earth. I believe that everybody has a purpose. Everybody has something they should bring to this earth. So you say you want me to pray?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
definitely can. Father God, we thank you so much. And I thank you, first of all, for allowing me to be on this platform. Thank you for my brother calling me and telling me and asking me to be a part of this wonderful radio station, this wonderful program. I thank you for the opportunity to speak to your people, and I pray that some of the words that I spoke would take root, that people would learn how to apply themselves, how to apply the principle that you set in this earth for them to be successful in any area of life. I pray for the ones that are struggling right now, the ones that may have doubt and worry, fear, knowing that fear doesn't exist because we have overcome fear, and we know that you are working everything together for our good. We thank you so much that all things are possible for all of us that believe, and we thank you so much that everything that you told us that we will be, we already are. And no matter what tries to come against us, we know that with you we cannot fail. So we thank you for your love. We thank you for your grace, your mercy, your strength. We thank you for your power. We thank you for your spirit. We thank you for the love that you've given to us, where you've forgiven us of all of our sins, and you brought us up to a new reality, knowing that we are more than conquerors and we can overcome anything in this world. So I thank you so much. And I speak life. I speak prosperity. I speak blessings. I speak health. I speak strength. I speak perseverance over all your people that's listening right now. And I thank you so much. And I give you all the glory, all the praise, and all the honor in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for David Miles Jr. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining us on this morning. Really, really do appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick commercial, and then we'll come right back with some more music for you guys right here on the DSM Morning Show.
We got a commercial.